Welcome. Welcome, dear students, dear children. Yes. Shall we start a poem, If I Was a Tree, from Mudlukadu Chinnaswamy? Yes. Do you think that being a tree is more convenient than being a human being? If we ask so, plus and minus are there in both. You know, trees, they are the most prominent living beings other than human beings in this living world. Because you know, they give oxygen, they provide rain, they prevent soil erosion, everything, the list you can give. More than that, human beings have emotional attachment with trees. Emotional attachment. What do you mean by emotional attachment? This is saying, when you are too tired, physically or mentally, sit under a tree. You will be cool. Okay, the modern science says that it releases oxygen, that's why it cools the atmosphere, that's why we will be cool, our mind will be soothing. That's different. But if you cultivate, that's very important. If you cultivate that attachment with the plant or tree, you can communicate with that. It doesn't mean that the plant or tree answers. It means that you can be away from all these anger or jealous, like negative feelings while communicating with the tree. Human beings, of course, is the finest creation of God in the world, on earth. But so many drawbacks are there in human beings also. Trees won't quarrel each other, but human beings will quarrel each other. Why? First caste, creed, sex, for their rights, not for duties. That should be remembered. Their rights. I should have the right to speak. I should have the right to educate. I should have the right to communicate. We argue, we shout at, but do we mind about our duties? Never. Always we think of our rights, not of our duties. But trees, they think of their duties rather than their rights. Don't they have the right to live on earth? They have. But when human beings cut the tree, clear the place by cutting the trees to build a house or build a factory or build an apartment or thing or something, will they protest? No. Why? They can't. Human beings answer like that. They can't. We have the right to build our own house, to live in our own house. We shout it. But even trees also have the right to live on earth, because Mother Earth, the huge area, she gave birth not only for human beings. Each and every creature is Mother Earth's child. She treats equally, but some of the creatures like human beings, they dominate over other. Right? Did you hear anywhere that a donkey or an elephant or a lion caged a human being? No. But human beings, they cage a lion, no? Yes. So that is the extraordinary power. Should we say power? No, I think. It's a mentality of human beings. Here, the poet, Mudlukadu Chinnaswamy, he is fed up of this caste differentiation which is prevailing so badly, which was rooted in the society so badly when he wrote this poem. I used past tense because now at present caste system is not so severe. We almost forgot that system. But few years before, when he wrote this poem, the poet, he might have been fed up of the caste system. Let us see what he says. Let me read the poem once. If I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. When sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. My friendship with the cool breeze and leaves would be sweet. Raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog-eater. When I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee, shouting for a bath. The sacred cow would strap her body on my bark, scratching wherever it itched. And 300,000 gods sheltering inside her would touch me. Who knows, at the end, hacked into pieces of dry wood, burning in the holy fire, I might be made pure, or becoming the bed for a sinless body, be borne on the shoulders of 4 good men. Actually, the original poem is in Kannada and it's there at the end of this lesson. It's there. While translating some of the particular words, we won't get in English, so that some of the words like dog eater and all, it just translated as it is, although it won't suit like that. Okay, let's see the poem. If I was a tree, he says, he imagines, if I was a tree. If I were a tree also right, because it's impossible. Becoming a tree is impossible. If I was a tree, he dreams. So of if I were a tree, when we talk about impossibilities, we can use their plural also. If I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. Normally, how human beings, they behave. In a colony of upper caste people, upper caste means, let it be Brahmins. If a person, Harijan, whatever we say, if a SC or ST build a house, some irritating feeling arises in the minds of these Brahmins or Kshatriyas or Vaishyas. Why? Because their forefathers, they believed that their caste is better than all other. In Mahabharata, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, karma decides the caste. That means nobody is born as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. According to their karma, according to their work, they are categorized into 4 groups, not caste. They are categorized into 4 groups. The people who do this teaching work or medicine work, they are considered as Brahmanas. Or these puja and all, what we say, the devotional works, we consider them as Purohits or Brahmins. They become the bridge between the devotee and God. Those who do this work. Next, those who are meant for trade, commerce, selling and purchasing the things, they are considered as Vaishyas, trade and commerce. Next, those who meant to protect the country, fight for the country, rule the country, administration, they are considered as Kshatriyas. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and next Shudra. Those who can do everybody need not be skilled in any one or other work. The people who are unskilled of any of these works, but help others to do their duty well, are considered as Shudras. Later on, as days passed, these groups, categorized groups, somehow acquired some rigidity, and even the Shudras were divided into two groups, touched and untouched. And the people who are not at all skilled in any other work, they are considered as Panchamas or Harijanas. These people, they were considered as untouchables. Later on, it has become like that. Who do this work? These people who do these sandals with the skin and all, they were all in this group according to the practice. But, being the son of a Shudra, Vidura, he was considered as Acharya, that means Brahmin, just because he did teaching work. He was the guru of Pandavas and Kauravas. So, according to this category or categorized rule of category, the person who does the work, according to the work what they did, they are grouped, not according to the birth. This is saying, Janmana jayate jantu karmana jayate dvijaha. By birth, everyone is a creature according to their karma. Karma means work. Their second birth, rebirth, dvijaha. Vedadhyenato vipraha. By learning Veda and all, they become Vipra, Brahmavid Brahmana smritaha. By birth, nobody is called as Brahmana, according to our tradition. But this rigidity prolonged in such a way that these Panchamas were thrived and they were pressed to the bottom of the social ladder into such a way that they suffered a lot. In that suppressed area, Ambedkar, like great people, emerged out, and they worked for the upliftment of these people. That is different. Anyhow, if I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. Before I build the nest, bird won't ask what caste you are. According to the caste of the tree, the bird won't build nest. According to the available facility, the bird build nest. So, caste is not important. Caste would not have been so important if I would have been a tree, says the poet. When sunlight embraced me, when some sunlight clasped me, this sunlight, it won't make any differentiation among anybody. It falls on human beings also, trees also, dog also, cat also, lion also, whoever comes under the sunlight equally. So, when sunlight embraced me, when sunlight clasped me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. My shadow, it wouldn't feel defiled, something dirty. So, making something dirty, defiled. So, Because it won't make any differentiation. Caste differentiation won't be there for sunlight. So my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. Few years before, not few years before, nearly 100 years before, just an event. There was a family in Puttur. I heard this story from somebody. This is an event which happened. A worker was there of this Panchama who was well built because they work very hard, well built, who was just passing by and his shadow fell on a boy of that family, Brahmin family. Just because of that, just his shadow fell on that boy. Just taking that reason, this worker was tied into a pillar and beaten black and blue. Without uttering a word, he bore everything. He bore everything, all the punishment. The boy who was tied to the pillar, he didn't tell anything, but a small feeling of irritation, the feeling that everything is not right, was there in his mind, probably, according to me, as I decided. And it was gone. Years passed. This 5-6 years boy grown up, learned Veda, he went to Kashi, he went to Madras, studied well, married. His 30th birthday, he celebrated in a very, very different manner in Puttur. He invited 1,000 these Panchamas or these scheduled caste, what we say, people, and provided food for them and had his food sitting along with them, sitting with them. So this is how the protest came out of his mind. We had to consider he is the real great person. And even we had to consider the person who, without any protest, took the punishment, because he would have been punished. He would have been turned against this person who bet, because he was well built. These people who bet him, they were so lean. So lean means not so well built because he was working very hard. So if he turned for them, they would not have been punished him. But he didn't do. Why? Because from ancestors onwards, his mind was brainwashed that whatever he did is not right. So this should be eradicated from the society, was the thought of that small boy. That's why he celebrated his 30th birthday likewise. Great, no? Yes. When sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. My friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Few years before, few means nearly 50 years before, these children, school-going children, they won't see the caste. They will make friendship with anybody whom they feel comfortable. Right? Yes. If they invite their friend to their house to have a cup of coffee, children, come here, let's have coffee at home. If they invite, if they would have been upper caste people, I mean Brahmins or somebody, and these friend would have been this Shudra group, then the parents never serve coffee for this boy's friend, this Shudra boy, with the cup which they use. And moreover, they never allow him to get inside also. How pathetic. Just see that. Just imagine the sufferings or mental sufferings of the boy who invited his friend. And even the friend. There will be a small crack in their friendship. Right? That's because of the behavior of the elders, right? Because of the rigidity of caste system in the society. But now it's not there. Now you don't bother about that. This poem is written so many years before, and because of that, he might have been suffered a lot. And moreover, to some extent, now also in remote areas, caste system may be there or may not be there. God knows. So he says, my friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Cool breeze. A friendship with the tree and cool breeze. Friendship with the tree and the leaf. Cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. When a cool breeze touches the leaves, they smile at it. They flutter and smile at it. Right? Just go on to your imaginary world, because this is literature, this is not science. Language class, we can imagine whatever we want here related to the lesson. Not of your dream world, warning. Okay. My friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. Dog eater means untouchable. We can't say that dog eater means these Harijans or Panchamas. Of course, they eat these dead animals, flesh or meat, but everybody won't eat so it's not a particular translation, I hope. Dog eater means untouchable. In that sense, he might have been translated Shwa Pacha. Shwa means related to Shwana, dog. Pacha means digesting. That's why dog eater. He might have been translated. Shwa Pacha means untouchable. Okay. Raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. Even Maharshi Vishwamitra, he ate dead dog's meat when he was very hungry. Do we consider him as Panchama? No. We consider him as a sage. We worship him. We admire him. No? Yes. Our epics, it says there's such a story. Once, Vishwamitra sage himself ate dog's meat. Okay, leave it. But here he says, raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. I'll continue in the next class. Sorry, let me finish this paragraph. Raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. When I branch out further from my roots, that means when I decide to continue my generation, my family, Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. Mother Earth wouldn't flee. Flee means run away. Mother Earth wouldn't flee, shouting for a bath. My goodness, this is a birth of a small child. I don't want to touch it. I want to take bath. Human beings do so. If they go to a place where a just born child is there, they come back and they used to take bath. They consider that the place of a birth and place of a death, both should be untouchable, whatever it may be. So this is the practice, and we can give a scientific reason for the behavior of the people which should be considered, because these just born babies, they're so tender, and everybody is not allowed to touch them because the bacteria or dust or dirt, whatever they carry from outside, may touch the skin of this young baby and get infected or allergic. No? That's why people used to separate this just born baby for nearly 2 months or 3 months from outsiders. That's why instead of giving the scientific reason, as the scientific reason can't be understood by a layman, they might have been told that if you go inside a room where the just born baby and her mother is kept, you have to come out and take a bath. And even for a place where a death happened, as soon as the person dies, there will be bacteria, virus, so many negative energy will be there around him. If you go there and you have to take bath, normally head bath, as this should not hurt this living person who attended there. That is normal. And we clean there using Dettol or phenol, much Dettol or phenol also, because that's the place where we keep dead body. Okay, whatever it may be. The scientific reasons can't be understood by a layman. That's why it might have been told that it should be take bath. But it hurts the person a lot. So he says, when I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. I'll continue in the next class.